Welcome back to Development Research and Practice, the course, hosted by Dime Analytics at the World Bank Group in the Development Impact Evaluation Department. This is week 1, chapter 1, conducting reproducible, transparent, and credible research. I'm Benjamin Daniels, a research fellow in the guide group at Georgetown University and a data coordinator with the Development Impact Evaluation Dime Analytics group. In this chapter, we talk about how to ensure credibility, transparency, and reproducibility for research projects. In theory, the design is the most important part of research credibility. But modern practices require committing to specific research decisions because of the large amounts of flexibility that we know researchers have throughout the course of a research project. In this world, credibility means aligning implementation with research design and recording that so other people can understand how the project was carried out in reality. Transparent research practices enable people to do this. They show how plans were developed and changed and how decisions were made, explain why and how this implementation aligned with the original design, and allow others to look at the impacts of changes, such as changes to samples, changes to implementation plans, and changes to analytical plans. Finally, modern reproducibility practices means providing as open access as possible to materials, including code and data, as well as research documentation, so other researchers and research consumers can reuse and understand research results, adding to the public good and understanding of your project. To maintain transparency, credibility, and reproducibility, there are key responsibilities that need to be taken up across the team. Task team leaders and principal investigators will need to develop and document research design carefully and communicate the corresponding data that will be needed for the project. They will need to guide the research team in structuring and completing project registration in accordance with the organization's requirements and understand the rights and responsibilities the team will have over data, code, and outputs in the future. Finally, the task team leader and principal investigators will need to determine what methods of pre-commitment are appropriate, and we'll discuss several options. Research assistants and other project staff will need to adjust outputs and documentation to meet the technical and institutional requirements. They should be informing the team leadership whenever materials are unclear or incomplete, and when they are clear and complete. Finally, project staff need to learn best practices for reproducible and transparent research and implement them faithfully. For this chapter, we want you to read the first chapter of the Development Research and Practice Handbook. We also suggest several Dime Wiki articles, including registering a research study, creating a pre-analysis plan, preparing to document research decisions, publishing data in a trusted repository, and preparing and publishing reproducibility packages. If you want to go further into more detail, we suggest a number of papers and articles here that provide more details on these practices. Our blog post, What Development Economists Talk About When They Talk About Reproducibility, the recent report by the AEA data editor and their team about the state of reproducibility across social science research, the discussion paper, Transparency, Reproducibility, and the Credibility of Economics Research, a paper on the promises and perils of pre-analysis plans and other forms of pre-commitment in development research. And finally, we suggest some readings on pre-results review at the Journal of Development Economics, a blog from the World Bank that discusses lessons learned, as well as one paper that has proceeded through the complete stage 2 publication process after publishing a pre-results review at the Journal of Development Economics. These resources should provide a complete view of all the materials in the chapter and expand your knowledge of how these are implemented in practice. Thanks very much for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you at the lecture and question and answer session. Have a great week.